before you treat them as citizens. So those are some of the issues that were discussed.
Attorney General, we're at a delicate point in our nation's history when it comes to race issues. What do you think leaders need to be doing to get us past this, to help us move forward and be a better nation?
I think we have to avoid extremes and recognize that it's a question of prudence and balance. Basically, as I see it, we need a police force. We need these institutions to provide peace and security in society, to allow our lives to flourish. At the same time, whenever you have that kind of institution, you have the possibility of abuse. And so you have to put reins and checks in place to make sure that these institutions that are designed to protect the community don't themselves become oppressive. And it's a question of striking the right balance. The police we need to support the police so they're out there protecting the community, but by the same time we have to be sure that there aren't these abuses, and it's striking a balance. It's not defunding the police or doing away with the police or demonizing the police, nor is it giving short shrift to the legitimate concerns that are out there about police abuses and overreach. So I think we have to strike a balance here.
Attorney General, speaking on that, the defund the police movement, one of their chief criticisms or suggestions is not necessarily to get rid of the police force, but to ask them to do less and to bring in more social workers to respond to stuff like domestic situations where call can go wrong and somebody could get killed by the police. Is that a reform that you think could work?
Yes, in fact, the Senator has that in his bill, and we have it in our executive order.
So one of the blessings of the President's executive order is it speaks to the importance of co-responders. Co-responders, the whole concept that some situations that officers are asked to take care of today really may not fall into traditionally law enforcement responses. So the importance of funding departments with co-responders so that we have the resources necessary to deal with some of these tragic issues, whether it's homelessness or drug abuse. Those issues and mental health episodes. One of the things that we heard from family members at the White House when myself, the Attorney General, and the President sat down was one family was describing a mental episode that their son was having that led to his death. Had we had the co-responders on the scene, perhaps there would have been a different outcome. And so the executive order, as well as our legislation, my legislation, speaks to the importance of doing the exact opposite of defunding the police. It actually speaks to funding the resource, making the resources more available for departments so as to deal with those issues. Yes, sir.
Senator, the first test vote, I guess, on your bill didn't, go your way. What's its future? I mean, are you hopeful? Are you optimistic that it's going to come back around again, and this is going to get its day in the Senate? Or
yeah, I think the first vote was a failure, and the good news is that since then I've had a lot of conversations, specifically with leaders in the House. Sat down with Karen Bass and others who have led the charge for the Congressional Black Caucus and the House Democrats on police reform. The more she has taken a look at the bill, the more she has suggested that perhaps that half or two-thirds of a loaf might be better than none, because right now we're sitting on zero, and that speaks poorly to the American people and specifically to communities of color who have been challenged by these situations for decades. So I think we're back at the drawing board. I had another conversation with another member last night. So I'm hopeful that the next couple of weeks may produce the type of outcomes that we're looking for. I'm an internal optimist, so I'm always looking for the silver lining. But the conversations that are now, folks who are now calling me about the legislation from the other side suggest that perhaps it's not dead. We may have a Lazarus moment. We may not.
Senator Scott, of course, this Justice Act is a nationwide conversation, but can you speak to the folks here in South Carolina, the changes you'd like to see in the Palmetto State?
Well, there's no question that as I've spoken to Director Keel, the head of the Highway Patrol, Chris Williamson, one of the things that we're seeing happening in South Carolina, we need to put more illumination under, to be honest with you, is that the reporting requirements in South Carolina are higher than they are in our nation. The fact that South Carolina may have been the first state to fund body cameras for more agencies. We have 118 agencies in this state with fewer than 10 officers. So the importance of funding is critically important. But we have a willingness in this state to address the issues, and frankly, as I did a press conference 2 weeks ago in Charleston, we had every major part of the police apparatus, law enforcement apparatus there with me, pushing for the changes that may make some uncomfortable, but being uncomfortable perhaps leads to progress. So I was really pleased to see South Carolina stand up and say from a law enforcement community, let's get this done so that we restore trust and confidence from those communities that we've lost it in, and sometimes by no fault of their own, sometimes by fault of their own, speaking specifically of the Walter Scott incident and many others. So I was heartened by the response that we have from a law enforcement community, and the Palmetto State can be proud of the fact that the reporting requirements in this state are better than they are federally. The fact that we're focusing and funding more body cameras is better than what we've done nationally, though I've asked for 5 consecutive years on the federal level for more funding for body cameras. I'm hopeful that we get that done this year, but those are a couple examples that what are happening in South Carolina.
Senator Scott,
Yes, sir.
with the Justice Act, you mentioned you guys are back on the drawing board. Like, with these conversations, what sort of changes do you expect to be made to the bill in order to get it across the finish line?
Well, the Attorney General just spoke to a couple of those important issues. My bill did not have racial profiling in it. It's in the House bill. That is something that we would at least take a look at, being able to have more information on racial profiling so that we draw better conclusions, number one. I think making it easier for the victim's family, or if the victim, if it's just serious bodily injury, to sue departments and cities is a really important part of it. I also think that having a moat around the officer, keeping that officer by and large protected, is an important part of making progress as well. So if we can find a way to thread the needle on both sides, that we make the cities and the departments more responsible for the culture that they create and maintaining those officers that have bad records that we know about, if we can eliminate that and protect the character-driven officers, put that moat around that officer, I think Katie barred the door, so to speak. We're moving forward on something. If they don't come to the table with that type of concessions made, that means that they're more interested in winning elections than they are in police reform. Good news is the folks I've spoken to over the last 3 or 4 days are all at the table, and they're all Democrats who are interested in getting to a yes. That's good news.
What exactly do you mean by
Excuse me, Senator, this will have to be our last question.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Did you see the president's comments on Twitter about Bubba Wallace and the Confederate flag and NASCAR? Do you think the president is stoking the culture wars?
Yeah, the president's going to have to answer for what he responded to. Fortunately, I don't pay a lot of attention to Twitter. I took it off my phone because there's no need for me to watch it all unfold and have to respond to it all. So I have no real good answer for that one. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Attorney General, just a quick question for you. Could you give us an update on federal prisoners and the COVID-19 pandemic, that response? A little off topic here, but just it's been a big topic of conversation recently. Just wondering if you could talk about that.
Yes, the last figures I've seen, we had just under 100 prisoners die of COVID out of 170,000. During this process, we've been releasing prisoners at risk. We moved very aggressively to do that. I think we're over 4,000 released, and we're continuing that process.
Thank you.